We are live.
Hey guys, welcome to the Gamer Time Podcast. You remember us. Don't go anywhere. We're still with you. And that's right, you heard him. We are live this time. You ain't
Woo!
just hearing our voices, you get to see our pretty faces. How
Yeah,
you like
first
that?
time ever. It's
I
beautiful. Look at this. First time
well,
ever we've got to do a video call for the Gamer Time podcast. Now everybody gets to see our faces, see who we are.
that's right, Matt. I am Big Al Mocious, and you know Matt Kelly.
Yes,
How you
sir.
doing today, Matt?
I'm good, man. We're working on some potty training with my little one, so it's been an interesting day. But yeah.
Very good, very good.
Mm-hmm.
Eddie, so we're going to be talking about, before we get into the NFL draft, which is coming up next Thursday,
Yeah.
um, we're going to be talking about that a little bit. And I thought I've been eager to give you a baseball question that I thought you would like pretty much. So, um, without further ado, Matthew, I have a baseball question for you. I don't know if you heard about this, but Justin Turner came up with the idea for something with involving shortening, shortening, like long inning games. And he said you can play the 10th inning, but after that, if you go to the 11th is a home run derby.
Ooh.
Three of your
Oh
best
man.
hitters, three of your best hitters, 5 outs each,
Okay.
and the other kicker is the coaches will pitch to you
Huh. Wow.
instead of, I mean,
Right. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
instead of
Like the
using the
opposing
arms.
coaches?
What's that?
The opposing coaches or like your
I
coach?
I believe you're pitching coach.
Okay. Okay. Interesting. Wow.
So, Matt, when I first heard about this, I loved I liked the idea, but now I'm not so sure. Do you think fatigue has a factor here? What do you think about this new proposal?
Hmm. Um, it's going to be really interesting because there's been a lot of rule changes over the last 5 years or so that have been rumors, have been legitimate ideas, or even been in effect. Um, so to do things like this, to shorten the game, maybe make it more interesting, or things like that. We've been talking about different ways to do that for the last, like I said, 5 years or plus. Um, these, to me, honestly, this falls under the category of a little bit out there. To do a home run derby in a game is just kind of wild to me. I mean, it would definitely would be entertaining. Don't get me wrong, but I just think it's a little bit of a stretch to kind of do something like that. I've heard all different types of things to shorten the game. Honestly, I just think they need to, in my personal opinion, if they would just put a pitch clock, from the time the catcher releases the ball back to the pitcher, give them like, I don't know, 15 seconds or something like that. I don't know, maybe 12 seconds. I just think that there's, especially playoff time, they really slow. And I get why. I understand it's more of as a chess match in the playoffs. You want to, make sure you're getting the right pitch, the right guy, play the statistics, things like that. But
Mhm.
I just think it definitely drags come playoff time. And I think a pitch clock, just getting the pitches, the at bats going through quicker and things like that would really help. But yeah.
Okay, yeah, I mean, like I said, and I agree with you about it would be very entertaining, but
Mm,
at the same time, what if if you're in what if you're in a series with somebody and all three games goes to the 11th inning with the home run derby and your players are just worn down? I mean,
right.
it
Right.
would be too much on them, I think.
So what would happen if they do a home run derby and they come out with the exact same amount of home runs? Do they play through one more time, or you know what I mean? Like, how long are you going to keep going? But you got to think though too. Baseball has always been like they don't stop. You know what I mean? 20+ inning games. So yeah.
I understand. Yeah, I guess it would just keep going until someone wins, but we'll see what the league says. I don't think it'll be approved by half the owners, but we'll see what happens.
Okay. All right.
But we got something really exciting coming up while we're all quarantined in the house, unfortunately, under these circumstances right now. But you know, we got the NFL draft, which is an exciting thing for the NFL and their fans.
Mm-hmm.
Which starts next Thursday, I believe, at 8 o'clock. Just the first round only. So, Matt, you know that you've been hearing a lot of the Cincinnati Bengals are number one. They're probably going to go Joe Burrow. Redskins number two, probably going to get Chase Young, probably the best defensive guy.
Mm-hmm.
But from here on out, after that, do you have any anybody that stands out to you in this first round here?
Oh man, well, a lot of guys stand out in the first round, as is every year. But there's actually, you know what? I'm going to be a little biased, and I'm going to go with a guy that might sneak into the first round. I've heard late 20s, but maybe even sneak up a little bit higher than that, and that is a defensive end by the name of Yetur Gross-Matos from Penn State. He going into the year, he was definitely on the radar, and heading into the last, I don't know, he's had a hot start, and he cooled off towards the end of the year or whatever. But he definitely showcased a lot of talent at Penn State, and I think that caught a lot of people's eye. But he's definitely, don't get me wrong, he's not on Chase Young's level or anything like that. Nobody is. But I think that he is definitely, I'm going to say, a top 5 defensive end in this year's class. And I think that he could fall into a system that could really utilize him. And the one system that I've heard so far was actually the New England Patriots. So, so it would be interesting, but that would actually be a pretty decent fit. I think that Gross-Matos could really tear some people up.
Okay. I have another thought on that. I do believe he is a first round type of talent, but I actually, did a first round mock draft, and I actually do have him going late in the first round to number 29 of the Tennessee Titans.
Okay.
I just think with the loss of Jarrell Casey that they need pass rush help,
Yeah.
and with some of these bigger guys gone already, I think in the first round that some of the bigger guys gone, I think that he can fit in there, and when Tennessee played Kansas City last year,
I'm
they could.
sorry, I can't get over that hat, dude. It's a glorious hat.
Thank you. That's it's it's a fedora, from the Kentucky Derby. I mean, that, that is a different
Okay.
sport, but
All
it's
right.
quite
I'm
an
sorry to
honor.
interrupt. I didn't mean. Go ahead.
It's okay. I will say this though: if you ever have a chance to go to the Kentucky Derby, do it. But
Okay. Sweet.
so yeah, I think with the Titans, they would get a good pick there. When they played Kansas City last year, they had and I think many teams struggle to get to Mahomes, but I just think this would really help them in the pass rush, and they know they'd have a good player to work with.
Okay.
So Matt,
Yeah.
you being let's say you're an owner, of a football team here. With the 15th pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the Denver Broncos, who do they select?
Oh man, so I'm gonna give a quick shout out here. We actually had a little bit of a draft pod for my other podcast, the Guy Time Platinum podcast, which Big Al, you will be a guest on. We're excited for that episode. But we went over a couple of mock drafts and things like that real quick. Anyways, the one that they had been referencing in two of the mock drafts that I saw was, oh my gosh, the name is slipping. Henry Ruggs from Alabama, the wide receiver. Yeah, I think Denver is looking into going after a wide receiver with their first round pick. It's either receiver, in my opinion, it's either receiver or safety or maybe even corner. The one name that I haven't seen in the first round mocks was a guy from LSU, Grant Delpit. I think that he, would be. I think he's a star, to be honest. I think he's a great player, and it would be interesting to see where he falls. So, yeah, it could be an option for Denver, but I think that they're probably going to look at a wide receiver.
Okay. I actually, the thing with it's kind of funny with the whole Delpit thing because I believe it or not, in my mock draft, I had him going right before you to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Okay.
I think they're solid on offense, and they just need to build that defense and look out for next year for them. But with your Broncos, I gotta say, I'm gonna stick with your wide receiver theory. But I have the other guy from Alabama going to you.
Oh, yeah?
Mr. Jerry Jeudy.
Oh, I am okay with that one.
Yep, that would be my
actually,
spot for him.
yeah, my friend, you are actually pretty frozen right now. So I wonder if you can maybe stop the recording and start it back up, the video part. See if that helps or something. There we go. All right. Can you hear me?
All right.
Mr.
Yep.
Mocious.
Loud and clear.
Can you hear me? Okay, because your video is still frozen.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I can, sir. So, you were saying that you would like Jerry Jeudy with your team?
Yes, I would. He's probably a star wide receiver in this year's draft. He's either one or two is in the position. So I think that would be a great pickup for anybody. So, what about your Cowboys? Where you guys stand?
We're actually two after you at number 17, and I thought about this too. Like, there's a lot of wide receivers out there, and including our boy from Penn State, KJ Handler, which he can be explosive in the second, third round of the draft. And could the Cowboys go a wide receiver route just to make our offense even more hard to manage? Yeah, but we just lost Byron Jones, our corner. So I'd say with the 17th pick in the NFL draft, my Dallas Cowboys take AJ Terrell, cornerback, Clemson.
Dun, 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 dun. Nice.
I just think, he's I've studied this guy on film. He's he's got great length, good size. He's good with the route running. Just he's not as physical as a lot of corners are, but he gets a job done, and he is the champion. He is the champion, so he can prove it. I just think right now, with wide receiver being a lot of wide receivers in the draft, I think the Cowboys could wait to the second, third rounds to wait on that and make our defense better. Just sticking with a corner that we just lost. I see him going that route right now.
Okay. Yeah, special word. Well wishes to my Denver Bronco, Mr. Von Miller, being diagnosed with COVID-19.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so he's don't get me wrong, he's a very healthy guy, probably tip-top shape, but he does have some asthma issues. So he's struggled with asthma. So there's always that risk. But I think he released a video a day or two ago about it, and he seems to be okay. I mean, I'm sure he's going to be okay, but yeah, scary times, man. It's getting pretty crazy out here. The numbers keep climbing, and we've seen signs of the peak hitting, and China is starting to come back around, but we're still behind that path, and hopefully we'll get over this soon, because I mean, I need football. Come September, we still don't have anything. It's gonna be rough. So we need sports, okay, badly. And I think this whole thing kind of shows how good humanity is, but I think this is also a good reason for people to understand how important sports are. There's definitely been an absence, I think, as far as the landscape between all the different types of entertainment. And I think that sports being absent, well, everything's absent, but with sports being absent, I think it's opened a little bit more eyes towards that side of entertainment. So I miss it like crazy, and I can't wait until tomorrow night for The Last Dance, the Chicago Bulls documentary with the '98 Chicago Bulls. And
Yes.
Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen, Dennis Rodman, Phil Jackson, all those guys. I mean, that is going to be so good. I can't wait. Are you going to be watching?
I'll probably tune in. I was actually just playing Dreamcast 2K1, and I just did a simulation. I simulated the playoffs and did the championship. And as the Phoenix Suns, I defeated the Milwaukee Bucks.
What?
Yes, I'm sorry your leggings didn't make it.
Wait. The Phoenix Suns in 2001 simulated, and they made the finals?
Yes, against the Milwaukee Bucks. You guys were in the conference finals, but just weren't
The
good
Phoenix
enough.
Suns?
Hey,
Wait. Who was on this team?
the
Did you make
Suns?
some trades?
No, I stuck with the main roster.
The 2001 Suns? Really? I don't think that was a very good team, were they?
Well, obviously in this they'd have to be, but I'm trying to remember exactly who they all had, but
It was definitely before Nash. I mean, Nash didn't come in. Oh wait, Nash was still on Dallas, I think.
yes,
It was before he came over. But
they did have Jason Kidd.
okay, yeah, okay, I can see that.
That was one of their main stars,
Yeah.
and I believe the Bucks had Ray Allen.
Yeah, that was a decent team. Yeah. But come on, man, 2001, nobody could beat the Lakers. Are you crazy?
I'm sorry, but hey, that's the game for you. But
Did you
trust me, I
see?
know.
Did you see the memes? Well, I don't know if it was a meme, but it's like a question going around about who could, especially with The Last Dance coming on tomorrow. They're
Mhm.
talking about, who would win between the 98 Bulls and the 2001 Lakers. The Kobe and Shaq versus Scottie and Michael.
Wow.
Ooh. What do you think?
Well, I I do think if I had to pick that, as much as I like Kobe and Shaq together, it would be hard to win a 7-game series with that amazing Bulls team. And
Oh, yeah.
I I think the defensive matchups would be pretty tight, so I don't think anyone really has a great advantage. So I'm gonna stick with the Bulls team. Are you gonna go? Are you gonna be biased, or are you gonna speak from the heart?
I I am going to, well, biased would be Lakers, and my heart would be the Lakers. But no, I am going to be a little bit smart about this. The Chicago Bulls, I think, will win. But
Yeah.
okay, so let's think about this. 97 and 98 years, they played the Utah Jazz in the finals, right? Both years.
Hmm.
And both years, they beat them in 6 games, right?
Yes.
And the Utah Jazz had defeated the young Lakers in those playoffs leading up to face the Bulls. Um, so, I think that Kobe and Shaq were a couple of steps behind the Jazz. So if you give them a few more years into their prime, the 2001 Lakers, I think that they were definitely better than the 98 Jazz. So I think it would be Bulls in 7. Yeah.
Okay, I can't argue with that. I mean, they're just Kobe and Shaq together, and Horry and Fox and all those.
Oh
That's
yeah.
that's a great. That would have been an ideal matchup to see.
Oh
So I
yeah.
agree.
Oh,
Game 7. Matt, going back to the draft real quick.
yeah.
I was. I know a lot of people. Are picking the Chargers to get the guy from Oregon. I mean, could you see any other quarterback fitting in there? I know everyone wants Tua to go to the Dolphins, and then they said the next one up is Hubert from Oregon. But do you see anybody else could fit that? Because in my mock, I don't even have him in the first round. I
Herbert.
don't. Correct. I don't even have him out of the first round.
Um. Well, the only other spot would be Love, right? Jordan Love.
Actually, to many surprise, I'm gonna go Jalen Hurts.
Oh, wow. Ooh, I don't know, man. I'm not sure he's got the arm talent. I think that the Chargers are kind of. I think. Look, they've been dragging their feet on some of their. Well, I guess it wouldn't be the Chargers, but everybody has been dragging their feet on picking up Cam Newton. I'm really surprised that he's still a free agent. Um, I think that I think he would be a decent fit with the Chargers.
Mhm.
Uh, that would be a nice option type of offense. So, I mean, don't get me wrong, Chargers could want to go rookie, could want to go in the draft, but yeah, I see the Chargers taking Herbert, to be honest.
Okay. I know a lot of people are gonna agree, and I just not that I haven't watched them before, and did some studying, but I just feel like you know Jalen's a little bit better, maybe. That's just my opinion, but
Yeah,
I, it's tough. It's tough. We have a good draft this year, and I'm looking forward to it.
yeah, I'm really excited, man. It's a good, like I was going off about, the sports thing. Like, it's good to see some big event happening, something new. You know what I mean. We've been seeing a crap ton of reruns and all that stuff, but to see something new happen is going to be refreshing, to be honest. So,
Absolutely. Um, you mentioned about people not getting signed yet. Where do you think Jadeveon Clowney will go to in free agency? I mean, he's an upgrade to anybody, but where do you think he'll ultimately ended up re-signing with Seattle, or is he going elsewhere?
Um, I don't. I think that I think he could. There could be a little bit of like free agency fatigue with that pick. Like I think that there could be he could be sitting on the market for too long, and he's going to have to resort to finding somewhere to kind of crawl back to. And I think Seattle will probably end up giving him much less than what he wanted, and he'll re-sign with them. But the interesting thing is that a lot of people that I've been talking to, which are local, like him in Philadelphia.
Hmm.
Now they've also been talking about how he is the guy that knocked out Carson Wentz in the playoffs. Everybody remembers that game, but it would be interesting to see where he would land. Regardless, I still think he's a great player. He's not, I don't think he's Hall of Fame or anything like that, but I think that he could definitely be a Pro Bowl caliber defensive player. So.
Okay. And you had a question on your last podcast about a certain quarterback question. Can you ask me about that, and I'll see if I can answer that.
Okay, it was a trivia question. Okay.
Okay.
And shoot, I'm not sure if I can remember all of the choices. It was who has the NFL rookie record for highest quarterback rating in a season, in the rookie season. It was either, I think it was like Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, Brett Favre, I forget, and a guy by the name, what was his name? Was it Doc Prescott or something like that? So, I don't know. It wasn't important though.
His actual name is Dakota, but they call him Dak Prescott.
Okay. But
Yes.
yeah. So who holds the record then?
Well, it's the one that you couldn't pronounce. It's see, Matthew. It ultimately comes down to when you think of records and everything, you got to think of America's team. Which, if you
Oh
ask
boy.
Google, America's team, go ahead, ask Google right now. America's team is the Dallas Cowboys. So I'm gonna go D. Dak Prescott.
Well, unfortunately, you are correct.
Well, thank you. I I just knew I was correct. I mean, you really think those other guys are gonna put up those type of stats that he did? I don't
Oh
think
boy.
so.
Well, we'll see if he has the career of those other guys. So.
I'll respect that answer.
All right. Well, that's a good way to wrap this one up. We're heading towards the limit here. I appreciate you hosting this one, dude. It's been a while, and everybody, I'm glad you get to see our pretty faces. I mean, look at that guy's fedora. Look at that, dude. You need to shave, man. Oh my gosh, you need a haircut.
Why do you think I wore that hat today, Matthew?
Oh, that's great. But yes, everybody. Gamertimeshows@gmail.com. Gamertimeshows on YouTube, and the Gamer Time Podcast on Twitter. It's some combination of that. Type in Gamer Time Shows, you'll find us. Okay. Big Al, appreciate you coming on, brother.
Yeah, thank you, Matt. Thanks for doing this again. And once we get sports back and going, we'll be having some more updated news for you and ready to roll.
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be much more to talk about.
Thank you, Matt.
Peace out, brother.
Thank you, bro. Have a good one.
All right.